guys? So I'm gonna do a video this evening on the breakout of this coronavirus. That they reopened schools, I think, the other day in the South, and a lot of people have gotten sick. A lot of kids have gotten sick because of UNCC, not in Charlotte, but there's a college, North Carolina, that got a lot of people sick. And there's a couple of schools in Mississippi where a lot of folks have gotten sick. Just about, I think, 80 or 90% of the schools in a particular county that I'm going to report on have gotten COVID-19. The importance of this is that just this true belief of Southerners in Trump and his ideology, and that they were willing to reopen schools when there was a good possibility of kids getting sick. Now it's happened, and there's no outrage. You're not going to see any outrage from these rednecks. They're willing to die to make things keep going on the way that they've been going. They'd rather die. And I just realized that I've talked about the death toll. Let's talk about it here today. So Trump did some kind of speech talking about Obama's H1N1. And I actually done a little research on this. You can't compare H1N1 with coronavirus. I mean, this is just more fucking stupid stuff that some redneck would believe. You can't compare the two. For one thing, Obama never came out and put out opposition information against the director of the CDC. You can't do that. It is so ignorant, and false to do that. Obama took it seriously. I've seen speeches of him when he talked. You can't compare that. I think they said Biden had got like 67% of the country supported what they did, and Trump's approval is like 37% now. I think that's because we had never really dealt with the real pandemic until then. I mean, you had SARS, but SARS never made it to America, so you can't use that. You can't use that as a comparison. H1N1 was like a practice run almost. It's another example of our sanitation and stuff kind of keeping us safe from epidemic. But the idea of shutting down the government, the idea of what this stuff will do to the economy, we hadn't discussed that at that time. So I'll give him that we just, H1N1 was nowhere near what coronavirus is. People will say to me, 66% of the population supporting Obama in what he did. That means something. One thing I've learned about the South during this pandemic is that you've got a good portion of the South that doesn't believe in science, has a hatred in science, has a hatred in the proper functioning of government, proper functioning of science, and they've got a way of life that is precarious at best. I'm talking about people who like fish for a living. I'm talking about people who, country folks. They have a lifestyle that is already kind of precarious. Like when I do delivering to construction sites, I'll always have work. Like that's something that I'm not worried about. I'll always have work doing this. Always. Trust me, construction, we go pretty far out. I'm not worried about that. But when it comes to country, things like that, their livelihood is dependent on a myriad of factors outside their control. And for them, there's a hostility towards science. There's this sense that you're taking from me what's mine. You're taking my livelihood away. And so shutting down the government, shutting down, the economy may run them into the poorhouse. So they say you got your facts, I got mine. No. Your facts kill people. That's the difference. Your facts are it's like we're all living in the same house, and rednecks are like smoking in bed, and like, I have the right to smoke in bed. And I'm like, dude, if you smoke in bed and you drop that match, you drop that cigarette, the whole house will burn down. You don't have the right to kill me. And I realized that, that's why that 66% in the Gallup poll, that's a lot of people. Like that's a lot of people really supporting Obama behind that. A lot of people. And that speaks more to him, his guidance, his leadership, as well as to the fact that H1N1, it was not a disease of lasting magnitude. It wasn't. It was kind of like SARS. You had those epidemics that just kind of went away. It just shows you that the South, for the South, their livelihood and their system, it's not very sustainable. Their system is not very sustainable. It's not one that's very durable. The South kind of operates off of, this is the way we've always done things, so we're not going to improve upon things whatsoever. And that anybody that wants to improve upon things is a communist, socialist, whatever they call me, that's fine, whatever. That's what the South is. That's what they operate on. Yeah, I'm going to end it here. I just realized that, you got people who hate science, have an opposition to science, they start off from that, and you're never going to bring them to your side. And that's a good 30% of the country, maybe more of the country, is just hate. And there's a pride in that. They have a pride in being ignorant. There's a pride in, the gay people. Like Trump just took advantage of that. Comparing him to Obama in that is really ridiculous. If you're not taking pandemic seriously, then you probably will sit there and listen to that, and it'll mean something.